JDev is back at it here to give everyone another Walking Dead Season 10 episode reaction video, but before I continue with that, it's extremely important if you're not caught up to the point where I am in rewatching or watching The Walking Dead that you take the initiative and pay attention to the episode title, which of course I'll put in the description for you. If that's the case and you find out that you're not caught up, I would suggest, and I'm sure everyone else would too, that you don't watch this video any further to avoid any potential spoilers. This will be The Walking Dead Season 10, episode number 16. It was initially the Season 10 finale of The Walking Dead. Of course, the pandemic kind of ruined that. The title of this episode is called Certain Doom. It's going to be my reaction review recap of the episode, and I've already done a reaction review recap of the episode right after the episode initially aired, and my opinion has slightly changed on it. I initially gave this episode a 9.0 out of 10, and I gave the character of the episode to Lydia. Well, I have a different opinion. So, you have Beta. He arrives with the Horde, and people at the tower, the place that they're kind of hiding out at, our survivors, are kind of running around like chickens with their head cut off. They're scrambling to gather everything that they need to. Father Gabriel runs into Diane, and then he sees, I think it was Gracie and RJ, and he talks about, they're a small group now, but they have people that, the Kingdom, and you have people at Alexandria, the people at the Hilltop, and there's one more finger left, and he's like, I'm not done yet. He's like, the people that aren't here, and then he shows, like, Eugene, Himiko, Princess, and Ezekiel. He shows Aaron and Alden, and then there's this mysterious ninja character who we now know as Elijah. And then the epic moment where you see Maggie read Carol's note about everybody dying. Jesus, Tara, Enid, and everybody else. So that is that. And then Gabriel actually orchestrates several pairs of survivors to sneak pieces of a speaker system out past the Horde onto a wagon to be pulled by horses, which the survivors will play music and lure the Horde away, hopefully, to the ocean to destroy them. Now, Daryl, Carol, Jerry, Magna, Luke, Kelly, Beatrice, and Jules decide to venture through the Horde covered in walker guts to engineer the escape plan. Before Carol departs, Lydia makes amends with her, but Carol instead insists to Lydia that she needs to make her own way. And then the group begins sifting through the Horde with Whispers being picked off by archers. Most of the group manages to evade the Horde and flee into the woods. Carol manages to mortally wound a Whisper that attacks her and Beatrice, but the dying Whisper actually wounds Beatrice, stabbing her in the ankle, forcing Carol to leave her behind as she is discovered and killed by the Horde. But before she does that, she actually has a pack that she wants Carol to grab. Like, here's the backpack. And eventually Lydia comes and gets it. Must have been something important there. Anyway, the survivors set up Luke's sound system and begin blaring music, successfully luring the Horde away from the tower. And it was a song, Burning Down the House, which a lot of people liked. Initially, I didn't know the name of the song because I couldn't quite understand it when I was watching the episode. It's clear as day. For some reason, when I was watching the episode initially, I didn't know what it was. So they lure their walkers away from the tower, giving people the inside an opportunity to escape. And then Beta and most of the Whisperers stay with the Horde and catch up to the wagon as night falls, destroying the speakers after forcing the group to retreat and abandon the wagon. Hiding in the woods, Daryl, after radioing Gabriel, lays out his plan to the others: go back and hunt down the Whispers in the Horde one by one. He acknowledges that this isn't a very good plan, but stresses that if they don't do it, all of their people are going to die back at the tower. Lydia volunteers to lead the Horde away since her mother taught her how to do that. And then Daryl rebuffs her, and, Lydia, however, is adamant that she's going to do what she's going to do. And Daryl decides that they will deal with it later and tells the others to move. And then back at the tower, Most of the group has actually evacuated thanks to the absence of the Horde, but there are a few people left there, like Gabriel, Scott, Rachel, Judith, and Whispers are starting to get in. They had a booby trap on the stairway, like an explosion thing, which was pretty cool. One of the Whispers died on that. But anyway, so Gabriel, they're starting to get to the door where they are at. So Gabriel tells Judith she needs to leave now and give Rosita a message for me. And it's implied that Father Gabriel isn't going to make it out of this. So he tells Judith to leave. She leaves with Scott and Rachel. Wow, Scott's become like a very important character that has hardly any lines. But he keeps surviving these episodes. And I've been predicting him to die for a while. So final season Walking Dead, Scott's going to make it. Anyway, Gabriel stays behind to hold off the remaining Whispers. He does pretty well at first, but then a couple of them grab him and pin him down. And he's about to get killed when that hooded masked character that we now know as Elijah shows up and starts doing his ninja moves and killing a bunch of Whispers. And Aaron's there as well. And then one is standing right over Gabriel, but he's about to kill Gabriel, and then it's Maggie to the rescue. Maggie returns to The Walking Dead. Well, we already saw Maggie in this episode. But it was nice to see Maggie and her and Gabriel embrace. They give each other a hug. It made my eyes water. I guess I've grown attached to Father Gabriel over the years. Never thought that would happen in season 5. That's for sure. He started to get good in the middle of season 6. Well, no, probably the second half of season 6. And then just from there, Father Gabriel's been like a standout character. He's like the Rick Grimes of The Walking Dead right now. He's the leader of Alexandria. Tell me if anybody else is the leader of Alexandria. It's Father Gabriel. He's the one that signed the charter, if you remember back in season 9. So, Maggie's back. She returned because she read that letter from Carol. And they were the ones that saved Aaron and Alden as well. And then outside, Beta notices the Whispers around him are being killed by the survivors. And then he actually spots Lydia and prepares to attack her. But all of a sudden he hears, "Hey, shithead." And he's interrupted by Negan. So Beta goes running after Negan. He pushes a walker, I think, or maybe it was a Whisper walker, I don't know, into Negan. Negan falls over, and Negan is about to get his ass beat, but then Daryl comes from the side and like slices Beta with a knife. And as Beta turns around to attack Daryl, Daryl takes 2 knives that he has and stabs Beta in both of his eyes. And then Beta kind of sees a flashback of kind of his character growth from the first moment we saw. Well, it wasn't technically the first moment we saw him, but the Whisper episode, I believe it was season 9, episode 2. Is that right? Season 10, episode 2? Yeah, season 10, episode 2. You see that, and then just his growth from there. And Beta takes the knives out and just puts his arms out, like he embraces the fact that he's going to turn into what he calls what the hell's the word that he used? A guardian. And he just gets devoured by walkers. We don't see him die at that point, so we could at some point possibly see a turned menacing zombie version of Beta, but probably not going to happen. But Ryan Hurst, give it up for Ryan Hurst. He did an amazing job on The Walking Dead. So Beta is essentially killed, and then after that happens, actually he's not. When they pull his mask off, and then that's when Negan recognizes him as a person who killed, or I should say he realizes that he was like a music star, and you know who that was? Nobody. Daryl, of course, doesn't give a shit. So, anyway, come daytime, Lydia, wearing Alpha's mask, successfully leads the Horde to a cliff, intending this task as a suicide mission. But before she can go over, Lydia is stopped by Carol, and Carol volunteers to go instead of her, dubbing it her choice. Carol reaches the edge, and Carol's about to go over the edge, and all of a sudden she's grabbed, and it's by Lydia, and Lydia pulls her to like a rock a big rock that's kind of in the way, and they sit by this this rock, and they take cover. And as the walkers around them march off the cliff into the water below, Carol thanks Lydia, the latter, and then she does is she actually takes her mom's whisper mask off, and she throws it as these walkers are falling in the ocean. It's a really good scene of like the mask falling and the walkers falling. It signifies the end of the whispers as what it does. So I really like that moment. Another touching moment in this episode, in addition to the Maggie Gabriel embracement. And then we see our characters kind of reuniting with each other. Maggie reunites with Aaron. Well, she was already reunited with Aaron, but he shows her Gracie. And then all of a sudden, Judith and RJ come by. Maggie gives Judith a big smile and hugs her. Completely ignores RJ. And Daryl asks Carol if she got what she wanted. And she replies that she didn't, but didn't really want it anyway. And then Daryl says, "We still have me." And Carol's like, "Yep." And they hug. I think Carol really wants Daryl at this point in time, and she doesn't think she can get it. Just a hunch. I don't know. Maybe that's not going to happen with those characters. I'm not sure. You get Negan talking to Lydia. Lydia's like, "You going to stick around?" And he's like, "For now." And Luke says, "Thank you to everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you." I think that kind of happened out of order, but it is what it is. And then elsewhere, we see somebody kind of stumbling through the woods, pretty dirty or muddy, and it's Connie. And she's still alive, surprisingly, but very weak. And as she stumbles and falls, somebody comes up in a horse, and it's Virgil. And then the episode ends with Eugene's group has finally reached the train yard. What was this destinated point to meet with Stephanie. And a funny moment is Princess says to Eugene, "Wow, you're a really horny dude." And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, there's a bunch of stormtroopers, which are the Commonwealth soldiers, say, "Put your hands up." And like the episode ends with Eugene like just he's probably pissing his pants or shitting his pants at that point in time. So honestly, I initially gave my reaction to this episode. I gave it a 9.0 out of 10. I really like this episode. I have a couple gripes. The episode is called A Certain Doom, and we don't really have a lot of character deaths. You thought Rachel would have died in this episode. You thought Scott would have died in this episode. You thought maybe Alden would have died. Nope, we get Beatrice and Beta. Beta's obviously a big character death, but that's it. So I'm a little upset about that. That's my main gripe with the episode. I thought there was going to be a lot more brutality in it, but it was still an awesome episode. Good moments. The moment with Lydia throwing the mask and the walkers going down in the ocean, and then Gabriel getting saved by Maggie and them embracing. I really actually like this episode. In fact, it's in my top 10 favorite Walking Dead episodes of all time, which when I initially did my reaction to this, I don't know if I was going that route with it. I might have been. I don't remember back in October. So I'm going to give the episode a 9.7 out of 10. So a lot better than my 9.0. Well, it's a 9. It's not that much better, but 9.7 versus 9.0. And the character of the episode I initially gave to Lydia, she certainly deserves that distinction. I'm going to change the character of the episode to Father Gabriel, or Gabriel, I guess, at this point, because he was very... this was all organized by him, and he did a really good job, and he was going to stay behind and make sure everybody else got out, and that was a badass. So Father Gabriel is the character of the episode. I love the episode. I wish Negan would have done a little bit more, but oh well. He did enough. One of my favorite finales, it was a season finale until they made the bonus episodes. So you've heard what I have to say. Now it's your turn. If you're a fan of The Walking Dead and you like this Certain Doom episode from season 10, or if you just like The Walking Dead in general and you're excited for the final season of The Walking Dead, which premieres on August 22nd, 2021, go ahead and smash that like button. Anybody else that you know that would be interested in this, make sure you share the video with them. Don't forget to leave me a comment in the comment section about your thoughts of the episode, your overall score, or talk about anything else Walking Dead related if you'd like. And of course, last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button, subscribe to the channel, join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. And JDev will return.